you signed in already, so.
I've been checking them all.
We'll call the meeting to order and announce that the meeting is being recorded on the Angola Planning Committee website. And we'll ask for planning staff for a roll call.
Burl Carpenter.
Present.
Amanda Cope. Here. Josh Fletcher.
Present.
Tina King is absent. Jack Verena.
Here.
Jennifer Sharkey is also absent tonight. Chris Thomas.
Here.
Jeff Peters.
Here.
Susan Ralston is absent. Steve White.
Here.
And Nick Sutton.
Here.
Austin Boudreau is our liaison, and he is absent. City Attorney Kim Shaw.
Here.
I am here, and our planning secretary, Grace Essman, is also here. So we do have a quorum.
Deal. Last month's minutes, the planning committee commission members have a chance to look those over. Any wishes to amend or disapprove any of the minutes? Okay. Okay. You have a motion to approve?
So approved. So moved.
Good. Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved as submitted. Any old business? September.
No, sir.
Okay. We'll tackle our first item then.
And before I get started, Amanda will be recusing herself from this case. So let the minutes reflect that, please. Project name 2025 PC 10001, development plan approval for Trine University. Applicant is Mike Bach with Trine University. Location is Thunder Drive, just south of the Keith Bussey SDI Athletic Recreation Center. The zoning is UV. And let me get this set up a little bit better. Hearing dates today, October 13th. Legal notice appeared in the Herald Republican on October 3rd, with 18 property owners within 300 feet of the project were sent notice on October 2nd. Applicable code provisions, Title 18, Unified Development Ordinance, Indiana Code, Development Plan 36.7 for 1400 series. This is not within a floodplain, and we are recommending conditional approval. Applicants are seeking development plan approval for a 93,250 square foot air-supported dome structure that will serve as an indoor practice and training facility for Trine University's sports programs. The air dome will provide a temperature-controlled facility for the sports programs to use year-round. The Board of Zoning Appeals approved a height variance for the project at their public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. Attached to the north side of the air dome will be a 2,050 square foot entry building. The entry building will be accessible from the existing parking lot adjacent to the site plan. There will be no other entry points. The entry building will include 2 offices, mechanical, electrical rooms, and restrooms serving the offices and the occupants of the air dome. And we've got up here, and you can see in front of you as well, the plans, elevations of that office building. And then we start the site photos. So we've got an aerial looking northwest from the northwest, aerial looking northeast, and one looking southeast as well. And then southwest. The contextual zoning and land use is UV to the north. We have Parks and Rec and traditional residential to the east. To the south is also UV. Further down is R2 single family residential, and then to the west is also UV and agricultural. The City of Angola Comprehensive Plan update designates this area as institutional in the future land use map. Principle 1, manage community form and growth, strongly promote compact form throughout the city. Principle 2, inspire community image. Continue to support the initiatives of Trine University, Objective 2.4, as a valued and critical community partner. We received no public input as a result of the notices that were mailed out. And the conclusion and recommendation is that staff does recommend approval of the development plan on the condition that all plan review and routing comments are adequately addressed to staff satisfaction, as well as the IDEM requirements that have been applied for or approved. And that's all I have, sir.
APC members, any questions for the planning staff?
The IDEM regulator application.
Let me see if we've got it on here.
The CSGP, the project's over an acre in size, so anything that's over an acre has to go to IDEM for permitting and approval.
Oh, and they have applied for that. It just hasn't been approved yet. They have to apply like a 28, is it a 28 day or?
IDEM has 28 days to
Yeah.
review and respond.
Does it automatically, they don't respond, does it automatically get approved then?
Yes.
Any other questions?
I've read everything that they've had on it, improving for water flow and drainage, and sewer lines and all of that. It all sounds good. But I just kind of wonder a little bit, because some of those sizes that they described, like 3-inch, maybe should be 4-inch or something, but I see no problem because the city hasn't disapproved it, so that'd be my only question.
And I think the water lines were size for, because they only have a couple bathrooms in there, but Mr. Bach with Trine University can address that, Burl, as well.
Did you seek public input?
Yes, and there was none.
Okay.
Yes,
Was it announced?
yes. I said no public input.
No, I
was
mean, here
received.
today, this is a public hearing, and anyone should be allowed to say something. That should be in the record that the public was invited to comment.
Yes, and we'll open that public hearing, I think, after.
After.
Yes. No, that's good, thank you.
We have a petitioner who'd like to add any information or address any concerns.
Well, good evening, and thank you for your consideration this evening. We're excited about the Dome project. It'll be something unique for not only the university, but for our community as well. Some people have asked, why are we building a dome? The reason we're building a dome is because Hershey Hall is next on our schedule in terms of our master plan and the work that needs to take place there. We have a number of students that participate in athletics, and there's really no place for those students to go, those student athletes to go without a dome. So what really happened was the dome was scheduled as phase 2, Hershey Hall was scheduled as phase 1, but the Hershey Hall project will take 18 months. So the decision was made by the board to flip-flop those two projects and put the dome in front of Hershey Hall so that our coaches and our students will have a place to practice as we begin the renovation of Hershey Hall. Hershey Hall is about an 18-month project, about $15 million will be invested. That building will be essentially scooped out like a pumpkin and all rebuilt from the 4 walls going in. That will be before our board for consideration in January. So that project could start as soon as this coming spring, following the dome. First step is dome, so we have a place for athletes and our student athletes for practice. As Retha said, about 93,000 square feet. The building in front is actually an airlock in addition to housing a couple of offices. Every emergency exit will be airlocked so that the dome will stay inflated. The dome itself has 4 redundant systems so that if one system should fail, another system will automatically come online to keep the dome inflated. And again, there's 4 of those systems along with emergency power. So we think we've accommodated the potential needs there as well, and are looking forward to get starting on this project. And actually, we're looking right now at occupancy as soon as January. So it's really an interesting process in that you have your contractor who basically puts foundations in, And then the dome comes as a kit. So you bring the kit on site, you attach it to the foundation, you blow it up, you're all done. So it actually goes pretty fast. So we're excited about the project, and again, appreciate your consideration this evening.
What's gonna happen after Hershey is renovated? I mean, the dome's gonna stay there.
Oh, yeah, the dome will continue to stay there.
And what do you plan to, it'll just be overflow?
Well, it'll continue to be used year round. In that right now, baseball, softball will be in the dome in the short term and longer term. There'll be batting cages there. Soccer will move into the dome, not full time, but available for practice. Football will move into the dome. Rugby will move into the dome. So numbers of sports will use the facility.
And will the floor be, have like AstroTurf over concrete or?
Artificial turf. It'll be just like our football field. It's an artificial turf with a rubber infill. Striped for all these different sports. So it'll be
Confusing.
yeah. I will say too, we've had a couple of meetings now with Amanda and the fire chief and Scotty, and we've talked about access to the facility. So there will be a road around the perimeter on 3 sides.
You can see it on this plan here.
That will allow access. Some have had a question about access for emergency vehicles, those types of things, but we've accommodated for that as well. As you can see the configuration there on the drawing. So we think we're in pretty good shape.
And then you're gonna start just ASAP to get in there by January.
Yeah, XLL, the design work is underway now. The dome is being manufactured now. So we've already awarded those contracts. Foundations will probably start here once we get final approvals, but we have a few variances pending downstate as well. The dome material itself is fireproof, it won't burn. So that's a kind of a unique feature as well that I'll share this evening. We can't support anything from the dome structure itself, so all our wireless access points, our cameras, those kinds of things will all be supported differently within the space, other than those that don't put a lot of weight on the dome.
What about lighting?
Lighting will be suspended. It's all LED lighting. Yeah. So batting cages, though, will not be suspended. So
Is there any, on the exits, are those all airlocked so that you have no problem if there's an emergency?
yeah, they're all airlocked as well. There's also, you can see on the drawing right there about in the center of where the road is, that's an exit or an entrance that would allow emergency vehicle access to the field. So if someone needs to drive in, that's actually a large garage door that will open up through an airlock as well to allow maintenance vehicles in and out and off the field. But the field will be installed. Foundation's going first, then the field itself, and then the last thing that happens is the dome comes and it's inflated. So.
Mike, to answer Verl's question earlier, are the only bathrooms in the office space, or are there more? I guess I don't know for
Yeah, there are restrooms that will be outside in the ancillary building in addition to, which meet code requirements. So the number of facilities that we have there in that building meet the requirements. But we'll also then have available restrooms in softball and baseball that should there be a larger group, we'll be able to accommodate that overflow from the space. So,
Mr. President, may I ask a couple of questions? Sure. Mike, how do you heat the dome?
it's heated through the same system that keeps the dome inflated, heated and cooled. It's completely climate controlled. It'll be 75 degrees in the space, pretty much summer months, and then winter we'll take it down to probably 65 or so. But it's fascinating the way the dome is not only pressurized, but the way it's maintained. There's an app that you put on your phone, and our campus ops staff will be able to maintain and monitor pressures in this any place. So,
And not exactly on point, but if Hershey Hall is going to be completely gutted, is that going to affect the women's basketball program?
it will not. We'll be good. We may play a few more games away during the time that we're down, but There's a plan right now, as an example, volleyball plays on the main floor.
Right.
And there's a plan right now that says that entire mezzanine, you're familiar with the gym, but that entire mezzanine above goes away because there's not enough height there for volleyball.
Right.
We're 6 inches short,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
so it all has to come out.
Thank you.
How much wind can the bubble hold? I mean, take, you know, like if there's a thunderstorm or something like that, 75 miles an hour? Or-
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but it meets all the requirements, code requirements in terms of wind. And we did, part of what you see there is not necessarily an access road around the facility, but it's also asphalt on the north and west sides of the building. And the reason that's there is for snow removal. Snow will actually shed off the roof, just like rain will shed off the roof. And we'll be able to get around it with a vehicle for snow removal as well, so. But they build these things in Alaska. It's pretty incredible technology. And our dome will actually probably be inflated in January. So if there's snow on the ground, we just sweep the snow out of the way and we blow it up.
So get your bicycle pump out there. And
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Okay, thank you again.
Thank you. Okay, any more discussion amongst us? Okay, we'll close the public part of the meeting. Finding of facts.
Did you opened a public hearing and closed? I know we have no one, but
Open. the public
we'll let the
hearing. All
record
those public-
state yes.
The record should state that.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you. Okay, so the findings of fact for case 2025 PC 10001. The development plan is or is not consistent with the City of Angola Comprehensive Plan. It is, the development plan is consistent with the City of Angola Comprehensive Plan because objective 1.1 strongly promote compact form throughout the city, and objective 2.4 continue to support the initiatives of Trine University as a valued and critical community partner. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Thank you. The development plan does or does not satisfy the applicable development standards of Division 2 of this title zoning districts. It does. The development plan does or will satisfy the applicable development standards of Division 2 of this title zoning district once all plan review and routing comments are adequately addressed. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
The development plan does or does not satisfy all applicable standards of Division 6 of this title development standards. Does. The development does satisfy the applicable standards of Division 6 of this title development standards once all plan review and routing comments are adequately addressed. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
The development plan does or does not satisfy all applicable provisions of this title? It does satisfy all applicable provisions of this title once all plan review and routing comments are adequately addressed. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
The development plan does or does not satisfy the construction requirements of the City of Angola's construction standards. The development does or will satisfy the applicable construction requirements of the City of Angola's construction standard once all plan review and routing comments are adequately addressed and item requirements are met. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay, we're ready for a motion.
Okay. Have a motion regarding the application.
I'll make a motion, we accept the plans as presented.
With the conditions,
With the conditions, yes.
thank you.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
You're approved. Thank you, Mike.
You got a garage full of them somewhere. Good to see you.
No, I think, is that how we're gonna leave it, Grace? Like this, okay. Perfect. We can move to the second item when you are ready, sir.
Okay. Our second item is a resolution of the Angola Plan Commission determining the resolution amended plan approved and adopted by the Angola Redevelopment Commission conform to the plan of development for the city of Angola, Indiana, approving the resolution.
So you guys all have a resolution in front of you. You have two of them, I believe. There's one page that is the declaratory resolution that is specifically for Planning Commission. There's another one that's stapled together, which was the resolution that our redevelopment commission approved last week. And then you will know we have Crystal Welsh, who is not visible right now, but she is on Teams as well. Crystal is with Marsh, which is a company that I contracted with, oh my gosh, probably a year ago now, to work with our redevelopment commission as we moved through the extension of our existing TIF district and redoing the plan. So I'll just give you a quick history. I want to tell you as well that I do have a couple plans here, final ones. I know you guys read them on the OneDrive, most of you I talked to, but just know that these are up here too. So back when we started this, this blue area here, as well as the trailer park was in there. This one's updated now, but this is the area that our TIF district was. And TIF stands for tax incremental financing. So this area was designated as an economic development area, TIF district, to capture any incremental tax that was applied during that time. If those property values had gone up, the city could capture that increment. Or if the assessed values had gone up. So that was the only place where our TIF was. That's it. The plan, which now you see this one, and I should have brought the other one, the existing plan for this area only had 3 items that we could spend money on, which was very strange because most cities do not do that. They do not specify just 3 things that you could spend it on. Those items were lining a sewer along Hetzler Court, improvements to Hetzler Court, which is a road that runs back through here, or the water tower that was done. So those were the 3 items that we could even use TIF funds for. We started capturing some TIF funds as there was development in this area, but as a community and as a redevelopment commission, we just never did anything with them. We didn't bond against it. We didn't use them for any development incentives. We just didn't do anything. The only item that we had spent TIF money or TIF funds on at one time, about 5 years ago,
It's during COVID, so yeah.
Yeah, is the signage that you see across 69, the bridge signage. So we did use TIF funds for that, which is a great sign. That was a project that Amanda worked on, and but that's it. So when I came into this position and started meeting with other communities and realizing how other communities' redevelopment commissions were very active and they were utilizing their TIF funds for development incentives and what they were doing, I couldn't believe it because I was very unaware of that. So I started researching and looking into it, and the council approved me hiring and contracting with Marsh to have someone kind of come alongside me and educate me, as well as I learned what our options were and what we could do. Because we, as a community, we have very little incentives for development and new businesses. We have tax abatements, but that's really it. We don't have a lot of other incentives that we can use. So as we started meeting regularly with our redevelopment commission, who is comprised of a lot of different, we have a developer, a finance guy, our retired city engineer Bill Boyer is on there. We have a lot of different bodies that are on that commission, and they worked really hard this past year of determining what made the most sense, how we should proceed with doing something. So what we decided was not to create a new TIF district. We decided to expand the existing one. So what we did is we got rid of a few like single family residential units that were in there, and that was at the advice of our financial consultant, Baker Tilly. So they don't bring, we didn't have a residential TIF, it was a commercial. So we got rid of that. we came along here through US 20, the green area is where we are just in the right of way. And that's specifically so that if we can ever do infrastructure projects, if we can do something to work on our infrastructure through there, we will have the ability to do that because it connects to our TIF. This parcel here is vacant, so we took that on. We have some thoughts, somebody bought it, looking at development. We come into downtown and we went around the whole area of downtown. Initially, we were just coming through and going north. But after speaking to our department heads, they noted that a lot of our downtown businesses, water lines are in need of some assistance to spur more development in the downtown. We don't have great capacity, especially in West Maumee. And right now, if a downtown business is going to increase capacity, they've got to go out into the state road to connect into new water. And so our department had suggested that we go around those back blocks to enable more capacity to move forward there to help some of our downtown and spur development there. We continue north. We take on a couple other parcels here. This is the Old Dana parcel that's there, but we connect to Woolert Street along there so that we can also use some incentives there with some things, but we can connect to Woolert and potentially do maybe some infrastructure improvements along Woolert. We continue through the right of way. Again, a lot of this is state road, and you'll notice through here, we continued on. We didn't take a lot of parcels. The ones that are owned by Trine or somebody that doesn't pay taxes, somebody that's not churches, things like that, we did not take. This is Woolert Street extended area that does not have utilities that run through. We've lost a couple developments because we don't have utilities down at Woolert Street extended. So this gives us the option to be able to do that. We continue with the new Serenova plat. You guys approved that primary plat there. We've got a few other industrial areas. Most of those are vacant, or all of them are vacant lots that could potentially use some development. This is the lots behind the eclectic room, and then some to the north of that pose some possible development behind there. So we chose parcels that made sense. We chose a direction in a way that we could use infrastructure improvements for the city as projects, and that we could also spur some development and incentivize potential developers and industries coming to the area that hopefully we can help do that. So that was the goal of this. And along with this map that we created, we updated that whole plan that you guys have. And again, I can do more hard copies if you want them, but it just spells out what we're allowed to spend the money on legally and how we can do that. So with this process, I learned, I was unaware, but it's a big deal to do this. And so you have to, what I need from you guys is for you to declare that the amended TIF plan is consistent with our comprehensive plan, which I also have those copies here if somebody doesn't, but that the amended TIF plan is consistent with our comprehensive plan, and you will do that by adopting the resolution and approving the amended plan, and then also sending a recommendation to City Council, just like we do for zoning, whether it's a positive, a negative, or no recommendation at all. So we need to do that to City Council because then City Council has their own resolution that they will approve with your recommendation. So you guys are the first step to say, hey, this is good, this makes sense, and it's aligning with our comp plan. We're going to adopt this resolution and move this forward with a recommendation and approve the plan, wherever that plan is. And then it will go to City Council. And they will also have a resolution to adopt. And then it'll go back to the Redevelopment Commission for a public hearing. And at that hearing, we have all of our taxing units, the library, the schools, the county, anybody's involved in that. We will also, so we'll have that public hearing to do the final approval. And then Jason Semler will also be here at that meeting to do our annual report. So I will send that out to you guys. Anybody is welcome. I would encourage you to come to that meeting if you can, but Crystal, I hope you can hear me. Did I say all that correctly on what the job is, what we need approved?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
I can, thank you.
Okay, yep. No, you did a great job, Retha. I think you've got this now. You don't need me anymore.
Yeah, not true, not true.
But yeah, so the real intent here is as the body, the Plan Commission is authorized by the state of Indiana to manage planning and land use planning for the city of Angola. And so when you do a TIF plan like this, that kind of outlines the goals and objectives of how the redevelopment commission will operate, it's critical that the Plan Commission have a say to ensure that it's consistent with your goals and objectives, as well as an advisory group to the Common Council to say, hey, we think this is consistent and we would like to recommend you approve it. Just like an ordinance for a rezoning in which the Plan Commission has to take action first. This is the same process, so that you take action first. You're recommending to the council that has the general city, they manage the general city obligations, whereas you manage the planning and zoning aspects of the city. So, and then as Retha mentioned, we will have the official public hearing at the redevelopment commission meeting. And then they'll do what's called the confirming resolution. So what you should have received in your packet today was your resolution, but also a copy of the declaratory resolution that the redevelopment commission passed. And what that's doing is declaring what they intend to do and how they intend to do it by adopting the plan. Their declaratory resolution also contains a list of the parcels that will be included in the new TIF. And as Retha mentioned, there were going to be some that are being removed from the original TIF. And so those are itemized in that declaratory resolution. Once it gets through the final process in November, the intent is for this information then to be passed on to the county, as the county is the agency that manages tax collection. It's critical that they're given not only the parcel ID, but also this GIS map so that they can easily and hopefully accurately manage the financing component of the tax increment finance and direct those funds as development occurs to the right accounts at the city so that they're available for the redevelopment commission to undertake projects. I would also mention the key to tax increment financing is that it's intended for local public improvements. And sometimes people have a concern that you're taking money away from other taxing districts. But I would also say that these funds really come, and the reason the state adopted this legislation was for the but-for argument, that but for the incentives, whether they be infrastructure, assistance for development, but for those incentives, the development would not have occurred anyways. And so the tax revenue would not be there to support the rest of the other taxing districts. And then also mention that it does have a 25-year sunset clause, so that the intent is that over the next 25 years, we are doing the kinds of things that will incentivize development. And then at the end of the day, when the TIF expires, you'll have the increased tax revenue to then be shared back out through all the appropriate taxing districts.
Thank you, Crystal. One more question, Crystal, just really quick. So do they need to do separate motions to approve the amended plan and adopt the resolution and then do the recommendation, or can that all be done at once? What's the best way to do that?
No, you would just do it all at once. You need a motion to pass the resolution as provided in writing. That resolution itself kind of outlines the process and then also refers to the declaratory resolution and the plan itself, which is all a big long attachment to that. So your resolution's only 2 pages, and that's just because the signatures are on a second page, but your information is 44 pages long. So the rest of it is all attachments and background information, so that you can make
this whole plan.
a logical decision. You know, you can make an educated decision on whether to pass that resolution or not. But yeah, you just need a motion to adopt the resolution and then a vote.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
This is, I'm scrolling through here, this is all legal description of, so she said 44 pages. And she kind of alluded to this. We did a legal description of the parameters of all of this and every parcel number. And that's just to make it so that every time a parcel is divided or combined, I don't have to go to the county. We have the whole parameter scheduled. I will have to check with them, but so all of this is legal description that was written for that. And then the resolutions are here. So, and then you saw the listing of all the parcel numbers. Evan Marsh and Nick Gerber with our engineering department. Nick really stepped up and helped with the GIS and getting things on CAD and moving forward. And Evan Marsh, Crystal and her team has just been amazing pulling all of that together as well. And then we have an attorney, Thomas Pittman, who is not here tonight. He was going to be, but he's just kind of making sure that we're doing everything legal with redevelopment and inside those parameters. Just he sits and makes sure that our resolutions are legal. He went through everything and checked it. Just because he's kind of a redevelopment expert. He actually literally wrote the book on redevelopment. So, and then Kim has also been at every meeting and Kim will kind of continue to ensure that we are doing what we're supposed to do as we move forward. So.
So we would need if I understand it right, we would need a motion to adopt the resolution and approved amended plan.
Yes.
Is there a third part to that?
And then we will, a recommendation. Go ahead,
If
Crystal.
you look at the resolution, at the bottom of page 1, it says, now therefore be it resolved by the Angola Plan Commission that, one, that you're finding that it is conforms with the plans for the city. You are approving the plan itself, that it constitute written order of the Plan Commission approving the declaratory resolution and amended plan, and that the secretary is hereby directed to file a copy of this into your minutes. So those 4 items are already written in the resolution. So you just need to adopt the resolution as presented.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Tom did a good job.
Yes, he did a good job on that. And then do we also need to, I didn't see in here, did it say, did I miss it, to make the recommendation to the council?
I think it is.
Or is that separate?
You can, it's completely up to you. I think by default, by adopting it, you are making a positive recommendation, but if you would like to do that, go right ahead.
I would agree with you. By adopting it, if it goes through, then that's a positive recommendation. Yeah. I like that.
So does our motion need to contain all 4 of these items?
No, it really just needs to be a motion to
Just
adopt the presented resolution.
We have a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion that we accept the plan as written. The number up there, the resolution of the Angola Plan Commission determining, etc. Down here to the bottom, that pursuit of Section 16 Act, Plan Commission hereby finds and determines the declaration of reform and amended as confirmed. That's my recommendation.
Thank you, bro.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion
Okay.
carries.
Yay! Like a big weight off my shoulders.
yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Good job, Ruth.
Thank you, Crystal.
Sure.
Yes,
Let me
thanks.
know if you need anything else. Have a great
Okay.
night.
Thank you.
Thanks.
What I'd like to confirm on a lot of this, there's things that we have had before us that we've passed. Right here, like 20, where there's water going right out to I-69. The big place was on the south side, right there by Bill's. It was supposed to be an apartment place to build a couple of years ago, level it all down. It's never developed. But with this, we can make a move and have the availability of these funds without losing them. And that's what we don't need to do, is lose those funds, because it's there to be used. So all of these developments that I see and I hear in the construction or business places north end of town, out there where trains got all of their stuff, the water that's not available, maybe we can get this confirmed, because losing businesses that employ people here don't help pay bills. So I know the money needs to be available. If we've got the money available, let's spend it. So it looks like we made a good plan, and I hope it's a good move for the future.
And I agree with you, Earl. In addition, we need to keep our downtown strong. And if we have problems like the lead pipes, I could taste on Saturday mornings, Nick. If we can help them to replace those supply pipes and so forth, all the better. We have to keep our downtown strong.
We don't want to get into a mess like Detroit's had with all their lead pipes.
Well, that was Flint too, yeah.
So,
Well, and I think too, and I said this, I think to Kim earlier today, that this may not something that, while I'm still here at the city in the next how many ever years, I may not see a huge influx of being able to use this, or this pot growing very, very big. But in the next, 5-10 years, I expect that, we can even do another TIF and maybe some residential TIFs and work on that as we continue to grow and develop. And I think that with a lot of things that are just going on, being able to utilize our funds for infrastructure projects and lead pipe removal or whatever we want to do, now we have the ability, and hopefully as that pot grows, more funds to use for that. So I'm excited that you guys approved it, and thank you.
And we have what? How much in the account already? 750,000?
You know what? I didn't bring my report. I think
somewhere in that neighborhood.
Last one it was 900,000 something, which is partly why we extended instead of doing a new one, because we can actually use some of those funds that are existing right away versus doing a whole new TIF fund and having to wait a while for that to grow. So, yes, we do have that in there. Okay.
Any other reports? Members?
no report.
Nothing? Calls from you? Okay. We have a motion to adjourn. Second? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.